Welcome, Pima students. I am going to take you through a tutorial to show you how to integrate your D2L calendar and Google Calendar. So this tutorial will help you link all of your D2L course assignments, quizzes, and discussions that are available in your D2L course to your Pima Google Calendar. This can be extremely helpful to those that like to use your Google Calendar, which is given to you as a Pima student, as a daily planner. You would be able to see when your assignments, quizzes, and discussions are due. You can also create notifications in your calendar that will be sent to your Pima Gmail account automatically. So we're going to walk through this tutorial together so that you can set this up so that it is an automation and you do not have to worry about it for the rest of the semester. You do have to do this for each of your courses. And there are some things to consider. Your course will need to have due dates listed in D2L. So for courses that may just have due dates listed on a schedule of work or in the syllabus, this will not be possible to complete this process or this integration. So you want to make sure that in your D2L course, if there are due dates listed as assignments, quizzes, and discussions, then you will want to try this. Also, this is an advanced feature. So it can take a few steps to complete this process, and I do recommend, if you get stuck, to go ahead and watch the video again and even pause after each one of the steps so that you can follow along on a different computer or maybe on your phone to be able to do the process while you're watching the video. And last thing to remember or to consider is that if your instructor edits any of the due dates in the D2L course, so for example, if a paper was due tomorrow and your instructor is changing that due date for another week, then that change will actually be reflected the following day on your calendar. It does take overnight for the change to occur. So you just want to be aware of that as well. But most instructors will also communicate any changes like that through email or even in the course announcements. So let's go ahead and get started. First, we're going to log into D2L, and you can see that I am on the global home page. So I need to actually get into my course. And so there are two different ways to do that. You can go into My Courses here, or you can go into the waffle up at the top. I'm going to select the waffle option. I'm going to click on the course that I want to go into and integrate the calendar with. And then you want to make sure that the course on the home page has the calendar widget. And the calendar widget is what I'm circling right here with a cursor. And right now I collapsed it, so it shrunk, and I'm going to expand it so that you can see what you would normally see when you log into the course homepage. Again, if your course does not have this calendar widget on it, you are not able to do this process. But if it does, then we'll go ahead and continue. And we do want you to click in the caret and go to calendar. This will open up the calendar area of your course, and you can start to see the different assignments that are due. On the left-hand side, it's by today or tomorrow. You can also change it to the week up here at the top, or the month, or you can create a list or have it visible in a list format. And off to the right, you can see a full calendar for an entire month, and the little blue dot indicates when an activity is due. So the first thing we have to do is enable your course to subscribe to the calendar. And I'll help you with this step. So you do want to come in first to this area where it says all calendars. you want to click on the caret or the drop-down area, and you want to make sure that you can see the course that you're interested in listed here. If you cannot, you should be able to add the course by searching for the CRN, the 5-digit number, and adding it below. I have the course here that I want to subscribe to, so I am clear and ready to move on. But you can see I have another course that I can also come back in and subscribe to that calendar as well. So the next step, I need to go into Settings. And when I open Settings, there are other options that you can look at and showcase for your calendar view, but what we're interested in is the calendar feed. So you need to check mark where it says Enable Calendar Feeds and click Save. And you can see right up here, it changes to where I not only have Print settings, but now I also have Subscribe. And subscribe is what we need to do next. So I'm going to click on this button. And this is very important. You want to actually click in this area, All Calendars and Tasks, and you want to select the specific course that you want to subscribe and integrate with. So I'm choosing the course, and you can see how it changed the URL. I next need to copy the URL. So if you highlight it and do Control-C on a PC, there are several different ways to copy something. You can also right-click and choose Copy. And then I will close. And now I have the URL for this particular calendar, for this particular course. And now I want to move over into my Google Calendar. And there are several different ways to open a Google Calendar. You can go to your Gmail, and when you're inside your Gmail, you can come over to the waffle, and it will give you options for Google Apps, and you can find your calendar. That's one way. You can also use the URL calendar.google.com, and it will ask you to log in. Again, our PIMA email is Gmail, is Google. And then you would want to come in and open the calendar. Many of you may not use the calendar, but this is where you would want to come in and find it. Next, you will want to come over on the left-hand side, and you will see an area where it has your calendar and your name, and right below that, other calendar options. And this, you may not have any listed here. So I want to add, and I want to add from URL. So please make sure that you select from URL, and then it's asking for the URL of the calendar. We can now paste. So you can do right-click paste or Control-V or another shortcut you might know of. And next you want to click Add Calendar. And when you add the calendar, it'll take just a moment. And then you will be able to see it over on the left-hand side. So I'm going to click on the calendar so I can make a few calendar setting changes. And the first thing I want to change is you might want to change the name of the calendar. So you can put in what the CRN is of the course. You can call it the specific name of the course. So if it's History 101, you can type it in different ways, however you would like it, because this is what you will see on your calendar. No one else will see this. So please give it a name that you would like. Next, we want to make sure that you go down and change your notification setting. So this is really important to think about in a time management perspective. If I add these activities to my Google Calendar, I can then set up a notification where it will automatically send me an email at a certain number of days or minutes before that assignment or activity is due to help remind me. And this is especially helpful if you do not download the Pulse app that we utilize to push other notifications. And it's just a different way of receiving an email instead of using the app. So here you want to change what you would like the notification to be sent as. Now, if I were to just select notification, that basically just pops up when I have my calendar open. It will pop up down below on my computer. But I actually want an email notification. And then you can actually select how many days ahead of time do you want this email notification to be sent to you about this particular activity. And then you can change it to how many hours, how many minutes, how many days or weeks. So obviously, if you're really preparing ahead of time to complete an activity and make sure you're aware of it, you don't want the notification to be within minutes. I would even argue that you wouldn't want it to be within hours. You may want to put at least a day or two ahead of time, or even a couple more. So I'll go ahead and set mine to 2 days. And then that will help me be able to receive all of my notifications 2 days before it's actually due. Then I want to go back to the calendar. So I click the back arrow. And now you can see on the bottom left corner, I have different options for calendars. And the one I just created is the CRN 23342, right? And over here on my calendar, I can see activities. I have discussions, I have papers, and if I move down, this is one thing that you want to be careful with. It depends on when the due date is, the time of day, of where it shows up on your calendar. So obviously this discussion right here on Wednesday, May 12th, when I click on it, it tells me that it's due at 11 a.m. That's why it's showing nice and easy on the calendar in the middle of the day. But what's amazing about this is that it populates everything about the discussion that from D2L. So I have all of the instructions or the directions, the description of the activity. I have the due date. And then if I move down, I also can go directly into the D2L area to complete the discussion. I can also see that I've set up my notifications 2 days before as an email, and this is the particular course of 23342. This is the name I gave this calendar, right? So then I close that. But if you move down, you can barely see at the bottom, I have a discussion 7, and this one, if I open it, it's due at 11:55 p.m. It also gives me directions. It gives me a link to go back to the assignment, but it is a little bit harder to see on my calendar because my calendar ranges from 8 a.m. to midnight. And so it's down here at the very bottom. So you want to be careful that you are looking all around your calendar. But you can see these are already past due, and then the ones that are up and coming, the color is brighter because it has not occurred yet. But it's very helpful to understand what the assignment is about, what the activity is about, the due date, how to get directly back to that activity in D2L. And, I'm going to receive an email 2 days ahead of time. So I want to show you what that looks like in your email. If I were to go into my Pima Gmail, my Pima email account, this is what the notification looks like when it's sent to me. It tells me right here, notification, discussion number 8, due Saturday, May 15th, 11:55 p.m., and it's for the course that I put the title in the calendar. So this could change. Then it tells me all the information that I had within the activity, the directions, the description, the instructions, and it again leads me straight to that activity in D2L. This was sent to me 2 days ahead of time. Since this is the due date is Saturday, May 5th, this was sent to me yesterday on May 13th. And so I'm getting a heads up of when this activity will be due. So I'm hoping that this can be helpful to you. Again, this is a little bit more advanced than some of the other features in D2L, but we wanted to give you the opportunity to see how you can utilize your G Suite, meaning your Gmail and your Google Calendar, along with your D2L courses. And if you have any questions, please reach out to us. I'll go ahead and showcase our last slide, which provides my name, Jackie Allen. I'm within the Online Student Success Department, and you can see if you have any questions or need assistance about this, you can email us at pimaonline@pima.edu, and we have several different staff that can reach out to you for support. Thank you and have a wonderful day.